being made of Mr. Jackman?
I recall a family, husband and wife, the name was Baichi, they lived in Lusitan, who had the matter with smuggling gold and foreign currency out of the country. And I recall a specific intervention on their behalf in Mr. Jackman was to delay the matter until somehow they would have been able, might have been able to leave Guyana via what we call the backtrack route, because they were facing these charges. I recall that a specific matter that I could, because they were regular features of the husband and wife.
And from the best of your knowledge, what was requested, the intervention sought, was it carried out, yes or no?
Yes.
You also made reference, Mr. Hamilton, in your statement to Justice Barnwell. Were you present when any request was made of Justice Barnwell?
I recall Justice Barnwell had some issues in the court. I think he was the registrar of the court, if I remember.
His own issues or issues before him?
He had an issue.
A personal issue?
Yes, before the court. There was a court matter where Justice Barnwell was accused of actually some issue having to do with the registry. I think he was the person who functioned at the registry at the time, and there was an issue. This is a public matter. It was a public matter, and he sought the intervention of Washington with specifically Mr. Barnum, because the talk in the street at that time was that Barnum was managing Barnum, so it was an intervention sought to see where I perhaps could have influenced. And that matter dragged on for a long while in the courts, several appeals and whatever.
Before you continue, just for the record, in Jamaica, when you use the word managing, you mean disciplining. Is it the same thing here?
Yes, yes.
But what was the upshot? It dragged on for a long while, but what in the end was the upshot?
Based on the outcome, Barnum did not accede to the request because the matter prolonged in the courts. I think it was stalled several times by all kind of legal maneuvers and whatever environment in the court. But it's a matter that goes around. I think that matter dragged on several years in the court. This matter that Barnum had either before the court or the disciplinary, but there was a public matter with this judge.
Mr. Hamilton, you also spoke about the Chief Magistrate, Jack Nana. Was there any specific request made of the Chief Magistrate which you were present at?
No, not at all. I just recall Washington visiting Jack Nana's office.
In your evidence, you spoke about Detective Virgin Gentle, who Vernon Gentle.
Before you go on where you have played with the statement, for these isolated incidents, are you talking about repeated incidents of intervention in both the higher judiciary judges and the lower judiciary matters? You're only talking about isolated cases or cases or this is a regular thing?
No, I'm not speaking of isolated case. I preface this by making the point that as a leader of an organization, maybe Washington, with his American experience, understood that to be your organization be successful, you had to have a relationship of a personal nature with people in high office, whether government, judiciary, police, and therefore there were regular interactions. So I'm not speaking about one-off with any of the names I mentioned.
I could understand regular interactions, and that's part of maintaining the relationship. But what about interventions on behalf of others?
Well, there were interventions based on people who were coming, as I indicated, regularly of all sorts to see.
And this was both in relation to magistrates, plural, and judges, plural.
No, I can only speak, as I did in my statement, one magistrate that I know.
And one judge or no judge?
Well, I spoke to one judge who I know came on someone's behalf. And secondly, I spoke to a judge who I know regularly came on his own behalf.
Thank you, Rick.
Following up from the chairman, Madam Council, could you refer to the last two lines of the witness's statement, paragraph 18, because it follows on naturally?
Yes. Mr. Hamilton, you said in your last sentence at paragraph 80 that you can confirm many times you saw Rabbi Washington handing over monies to judicial officers and members of the police force. Can you at this time name those individuals you saw monies being handed over to?
Well, I confirm that I know monies were handed over to Mr. Jackman. I can confirm that. There were times when we visited Mr. Jackman's residence. He was somewhere on the northern side of the Spartan Magistrates Court. That is where he resided at the time of question I'm speaking about.
When you say monies were handed over, what do you mean?
Kind of currency being given.
A bribe or was a payment for something, services?
Well, my interpretation will be that it was for a favor that was granted by the then representative of the
Was anybody charged with misbehavior in public office?
So that
Was anybody charged with misbehavior in public office?
no, not as far as I know, sir. Not as far as I know.
But yes, sir.
Yeah, but I don't think we should interrupt each other.
Yes, Mr. Hamilton. Did you continue? You were indicating to us with whom, and you spoke about Mr. Jackman and recalling where the monies were handed. So could you please continue?
Once, I know Mr. Barnwell. I know monies were handed over to him not as a favor, but he had, because he had his matter in the court, I think it's all his monies for that period even have been paid embassies, and therefore he sought financial contribution, donation, whatever you want from the leader of your school at that time. During his time of seeking to have intervened in this behalf.
You also made mention of members of the police force.
Say that again?
You also made mention in your statement of members of the police force receiving monies. Was Vernon Gentle one of those policemen who would have received monies?
Yes, Vernon Gentle was a regular visitor. As I said, Brother Gentle is known. Say that again?
Detective.
He was a detective in summer rank in the CIA at the time. One of the famous detectives with another being very at the time for crafting cases. So it's not an unknown policing.
Sorry, may I just ask, you had given us the names of 2 judicial officers. You completed the list or you intended to?
No, I was saying the other judicial officer that came on someone's behalf.
And that is?
That is Judge Pompey, who came on behalf of Lady Khan, who was before the court for some matter at the time.
Judge Pompey.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. But I'm a little confused. Why would a judge?
Your mic.
Why would a judge need to prevail on the head of House of Israel on behalf of party before him? Should it be the opposite way around?
No, the matter of Ms. Bibican was not before the judge. As I understand it, Ms. Bibican and Judge Pompey had a different relationship. A relationship of a domestic nature.
That's a euphemism or something else.
And the intervention was sought on behalf of Ms. Khan.
Yes, ma'am.
And what exactly was Rabbi Washington asked to do to assist Ms. Khan?
Ms. Khan was before the court, I think it had to do with some reminders to really utilize migrant status or something to procure goods and bring it in. She was in a famous record accountant. But this matter was a public matter. At the time also, I think this Adams that I spoke about, they were part of it. Those two matters were two matters at the same time before the court for I think a similar offense or offenses.
But what was it that Rabbi Washington did to accede, or what was he specifically being asked to do to assist Ms. Khan?
He was asked to seek the intervention of the government because it was said that the specific instructions to deal with the person's charge was not so much a judicial or prosecutorial decision, but the political.
And are you aware of whether Rabbi Washington made any calls in relation to that request or intervention? Did he call anybody and if so?
I know there were calls made to government officials during the period of intervention. I couldn't indicate now who were those government officials, but I know that there was intervention on behalf of this.
And can you just, as a matter of completion, did Ms. Khan get what she wanted? Did she get the intervention she asked for? Was her matter dealt with?
I know, as I remember. Because one of the issues that I know that matter was delayed for a long time, it was before the court. But I cannot recall how the matter ended because it was so long before the court was in history. I couldn't remember. So I couldn't say whether the intervention specifically was to delay the matter, like I spoke to the by Jews, or whether it was to have the matter disposed of.
Mr. Hamilton, I want to take you back to Detective Vernon Gentle, CIA. What sort of intervention was sought using or through Mr. Gentle?
Vernon Gentle, as I said, was one of the police force would say one of the crack detectives, best detectives at the time. They were persons who, from what we call the rough side of town, who have had several issues with the law and their parents, come to seek intervention, because most of the times it was all he was the investigating officer of these matters, and therefore that is the type of relationship that I was talking about.
Are you aware, Mr. Hamilton, that Detective Vernon Gentle was involved in the investigations into the death of Walter Rodney?
Could have been, because as I said, he was one of the top investigators at the time.
Before you get into the involvement in the investigation of the death of Rodney, was he able to intervene in relation to the children of the Medicare who came to see him?
Guidance, sir. As a matter of completion, Mr. Hamilton, was Mr. Vernon Gentle able to offer the intervention sought by the parents?
Many instances.
And I'm understanding that in these situations, Rabbi Washington was the mediator, the go-between.
Yes, ma'am.
And the monies you indicated you saw being handed over to Vernon Gentle, could you say where that financing came from? Did it come from the families or did it come from the House of Israel?
As I said yesterday, the last Sunday of every month, that is where the House of Israel districts would report where the financial nature. A lot of the visitors, including came to the House of Israel headquarters. That last Sunday, that is the reason why I mentioned that we had a phraseology where we spoke to, as I said, the feeding of the crows.
What I'm not clear on, Council, is whether the monies were passed in consideration for or as a consequence of the intervention, or it was simply a gratuitous gift. I would like to be.
Okay. Mr. Hamilton, the monies that were passed, were they a gratuitous gift or were they as part and parcel of a payment or consideration for a favor or the intervention?
Both.
And specifically, Mr. Hamilton, did the finances or the monies come from the individuals who came to seek Rabbi Washington's intervention, or did it come from the House of Israel's finance?
Both.
So is there a distinction between who took the greatest gift and who took money for favors?
Say that again?
Was there a distinction between who took money as the church's gift and who took it for favors granted? What was Washington Rabbi's position?
Say that again?
What was Washington Rabbi's position? Rabbi Washington, did he take money for favors, or if you want to make a contribution, make a contribution?
Both. Take only for favors and even contribution to our
What about Gentle?
Say that again?
And what about Gentle? They always have to pay him to get the favor. What about Gentle?
Some instances, and there were some instances when there was no issue, and he would have visited and collected.
Even when there was no issue?
Yes, when it was.
So he had a retainer then, he only walked in and
That's why I said in my statement that he was regarded as a burden, because the fact that he was such a regular visitor,
They have to keep him in good standing.
we welcomed him as a brother, so he had crossed over from beyond being just police officer.
Mr. Hamilton, you indicated in your statement that you were in fact introduced by Rabbi Washington to certain individuals. This is paragraph 20. Could you indicate when it was that you were introduced by Rabbi Washington?
You're speaking to
Paragraph
paragraph 20 of my statement. Could I read it for me? What I said?
Yes.
Paragraph 20, I'm saying it would be useful to note that the first time I got to know Mr. Bassett, I was introduced to him by Rabbi Washington. Mr. Williams on that day was the company of one Mr. Ryan Lynch, who was a business associate of Rabbi Washington. The relationship continued even until 1994.
Which relationship,
I'm talking about the relationship
between who?
Mr. Williams and Rabbi Washington. Until 1994, when we worked together in the Good and Green Party, seeking to elect Hamilton Green as mayor. The leadership of the GGG mobilized the House of Israel fully at that time to help in the campaign. After the campaign, Mr. Green was elected. Many House of Israel members were employed by the city council, and some still remain employed.
Mr. Hamilton, could you say when exactly it was those introductions took place?
It had to be sometime early 80s. Might have been.
That would be after the death of Walter Rodney or prior to the death of Walter Rodney?
It could be either of it.
Mr. Hamilton, did you know Walter Rodney personally?
I knew Walter Rodney firstly by reading Walter Rodney. My first interaction in close proximity with Walter Rodney was here, as I mentioned yesterday, the meeting in Taiwan. I recall Rodney sitting on the steps of a church in that area, and a lady's cycle resting on the step. I suspect he was waiting to speak at the meeting that I spoke. He might have, he would have been, being the leader, the last speaker to speak at the meeting. And further, as I said, the disruption and continued. So in my statement, I made the point that we were unable to bring an end to the WPA meeting. That meeting ended somewhere in one of the
Paragraph 21.
Yes. That meeting ended by two mounted police riding into the meeting, so to speak, riding in and out of the meeting.
What were they writing?
Horses. That is what ended the meeting. I suppose it was because we were unable to disrupt and bring an end. In the confusion of all of that, Walter Rodney left the area.
I might not understand that. In circumstances, when he was in Israel, it was fair to set up the meeting that it would rely on the police when he debated right.
Well, there were instances recorded where
No much noise in the back, please.
where some of the meetings, and this is public knowledge, were disrupted by what they call recruits of the Italian police force. I recall one of those somewhere on the American Mall in the market area. He truckload of young men that were police recruits. I think I recall another.
What were those mentors?
They
What
were
were those mentors?
khaki shirts and khaki short pants and short shirts. And there was another on somewhere on Sheriff Street. I recall those things.
Where is it, Mount Branch Norman Station?
At the time I'm speaking, the State House, the Mountain Branch station in Eagle area. As I recall, at the time I'm speaking, there was a paddock in the State House, somewhere to the southern side, where horses were kept that Mr. Burnham utilized to ride and so.
For the record, to tell us where was the State House?
The State House is on Main Street. This meeting will be about 2 blocks away from the station that I'm talking about.
And what are you?
The dress, the golden dress, is it particular uniform of any group? The khaki shirts and the short khaki pants?
Yes.
And
Short.
dress.
Khaki pants and shorts.
Which group wore that uniform?
Those were police recruits.
Thank you very much.
And just as a matter of completion, Mr. Hamilton, what methods were used by these police recruits to disrupt the game?
Well, the police recruits would be armed with their batons, and as they disembarked, they would intervene in the most violent way to ensure that the meeting comes to an end.
And when you say in the most violent ways,
Lashing out. People who were paying attention to the meeting, who were there at the meeting, who were conducting the meeting.
did they take any of these individuals into custody?
In some instances, people were arrested and bundled into the truck or wagon, whatever. But most of the people, when the mayhem started, were running hell and skelter to get out of the location.
You indicated in paragraph 21 in your statement that, of course, after then there were many encounters of the House of Israel with Rodney and the WPA that he led at the time. Could you at this time just indicate to us how many encounters there were after this specific one in Tigray?
I would say several.
Several, more than 10, more than
More than 10.
more than 100 or less than?
Less than 100, more than 10.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know if we've made the time or what, but really to review, repeated everything that has been said before. This witness is repeating, and I could show you many instances where he has done so today, and he's again repeating what he said yesterday. We want to be able to get to this witness today. So this topic of repeating and repeating as was done with the WPA leader, we actually to stop. This is circular. It's
The hour clock for you all to get witness or to the witness is 9.
So you already have all of this evidence record.
All I want to know from Mr. Hamilton's brother, Rodney was specifically targeted by the hotel.
As I said yesterday, and I repeat, our instructions were, except for Chalijagan and Yerushikiwaya, any opposition member or leader could be. So Rodney, as I said yesterday, is in that bundle because he's not in the small bunch for this agenda.
Mr. Chairman, this evidence is international. It was dealt with substantially yesterday. Who was a sacred power? Who was that? So this is repetition.
I was concerned from our perspective that is a specific specific question, whether he was specifically covered. So though that one you're saying we are not denying, the question was not posed exactly yesterday. There's a good reason why we who have the regular report posed it exactly.
Mr. Hamilton, in paragraph 21 of your statement, you indicated that I must say that when Rodney was killed, that came as no surprise to the leadership and membership of the House of Israel. Could you indicate why it came as no surprise to yourself or the membership of the House of Israel?
Because members of the WPA, they were killed already. As I said, and I will continue to say, persons on either side who participated, either as oppressor or as victim, only they would appreciate the time and understood the time. So I am saying that there was no surprise at any time for us, if any member, any supporter, any leader of any political party, most especially the LP, was killed.
And how would you categorize yourself, oppressor or victim?
I indicated yesterday that, in my view, I was just oppressor suggested because we were used as tools to suppress.
Can I ask a couple of questions?
Yes.
Even though council is proceeding, but it relates to the question the chairman asked. At the meetings that would occur among the leaders of the House of Israel, did Walter Rodney's name ever come up?
Walter Rodney came up several times because Walter Rodney was a factor, a feature of the time. The politics of the time we discussed from all perspectives, all angles. And so yes, most definitely regularly.
And in those discussions, was there any element in terms of how he should be dealt with that was discussed?
Not in a specific way.
Pardon me?
Not in no specific manner. As I said, he would have been among the leadership, membership, who could have been armed.
His role vis-a-vis the state and the ruling government and party, was that ever discussed among the leadership?
That is the PNC's
Yes.
several times.
You spoke of the relationship between the leadership of the House of Israel and members of the ruling party, who you particularly named. I don't need to repeat them. Were you ever present at any discussions between any of these individuals and House of Israel leadership when Rodney's name was called?
No.
Thank you.
Mr. Hamilton, did you know a gentleman by the name of Reverend Smith?
Not at all. First time I heard of a Reverend Smith is when the papers published a photograph of the person who was alleged to have given Walter Rodney an explosive device vis-a-vis what we talked about.
Are you aware that there are some individuals who claim that Gregory Smith was a member of the House of Israel?
I think I read it somewhere where Dr. Rodney's brother mentioned that.
Do you know Gregory Smith as ever being a member of the House of Israel?
No.
In that time, were other individuals who were not members of the House of Israel, would it be normal for those persons to be seen in the House of Israel uniform?
Not that I remember.
And if someone was seen in the House of Israel uniform, that would be an indication that they were a member?
Now, how do I answer that? I couldn't vouch for persons who were not House of Israel members wearing a uniform. But as far as I know, members of the House of Israel for specific occasions would have been attired in their uniform.
When you were present during these meetings with the Rabbi Washington and the leaders of the PNC that you mentioned before, were you ever privy to hearing any requests being made for members of the House of Israel to infiltrate the membership of the WPA?
No, not at all.
On the date that Dr. Rodney died, that would be the 13th of June 1980. Could you just tell the members of the commission where you were on that date?
13th of June 1980. I couldn't lay my hand on where I was. But I know by then I was living in Georgia. So I was about to be in Georgia somewhere.
Rodney and the PNC and the House of Israel, were you present at any time when the PNC had discussions with the House of Israel? And had discussions with the House of Israel, and Rodney was a subject of concern to the PNC, which they relayed to the House of Israel?
Yes, with Rodney and his leadership and his organization, because they were to be contained. Yes.
But how did you understand the ways in which he was to be contained? Was he to be assaulted, lived? How was he to be contained?
Well, at that time, as I indicated, I think more than once, the intention is to ensure that his voice was heard, and therefore in the assembly that he gathered in the place.
You wake up and disrupt the meeting, disrupt, you wake up the meeting. But to the extent that he was continuing the whole meeting, because as I understand it, attract huge crowds. How then was he to be contained? Because part of the meeting you would wake up.
No, I suspect over time, the WPA leadership and membership, they became more adaptable and more skilled in protecting their meetings, and so it was difficult, it became difficult.
So what was it that mean now? You were not disrupting the meeting because WPA leadership and members found a way around that. So what next?
Well, I would say there was a period when, because of the difficulties, there was intervention, as I mentioned, by an arm of the state of the police. Because after a period, I suspect the old membership and leadership of the WPA became acquainted with the leadership of the House of Israel, with people who would, from time to time, over the period, attempted to disrupt their meeting, disrupted their meeting, assaulted members. So that difficulty developed, and that created a condition.
But did the House of Israel ever get an instruction to hurt him if necessary? He had to be stopped.
No, not no specific instruction of course, Rodney. We never had such a discussion.
But I understand you to be saying, because the House of Israel was not having the successes as we hoped they would have had, to use your words, there was intervention by the army and the police.
Not the army and the police.
Just the police?
Yes, as far as I know.
Thank you.
And how far would they go in employing their tactics? How far would their tactics go? The police tactics.
Well, when police arrived, a truck of recruits arrived because they were unique in their presentation. As I said, they were the only set of people that wore this short khaki pants when they were in training, short sleeve khaki shirt, and all of them, their heads were what we call bald. And so when WPA members and people were in the meetings, they would see that. They know that.
But that uniqueness related to their mode of dress. But in
Yes.
terms of the techniques employed in bringing
The techniques would have been as they disembarked the truck,
Yeah.
they would start to lash out with their batons, all of themselves.
Police men in uniform? Is that what it was to say?
There was no discrimination, just lashing out.
Yes.
All
Because the intention was to bring an end to the gathering. So speakers and listeners, all of them were fair game in the whole scheme of things.
But apart from batons, did they use any other weapons?
I can't recall seeing police utilizing any other weapon other than batons.
Thank you.
Following from that, sorry. The public address system were used at some of these meetings.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever have any experience in terms of observations or your own involvement of interference with the public address system being used by the WPA?
Yes, sir.
Could you tell us about that, please?
I think I mentioned somewhere in my statement.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Many times.
No.
A low voice.
And that was the cutting of the...
Yes, yes, and-
Thank you very much, Mr.
Yes.
Williams. I wasn't sure it was this witness. I'm obliged to you.
He's exhausted speaking.
Mr. Hamilton, do you regret your involvement in the activities you were involved in relation to the House of Israel between the period 1978 to 1980?
I will answer that question this way. A 60-year-old grandfather sees the world differently. A 23-year-old young man. And therefore, if the 60-year-old grandfather would be speaking to his 23-year-old young son, what he will say is that you made a bad choice, you made a bad decision. Your decision caused great harm to you. And so yes, there are regrets. I continue to live with that past. It is here with me. And so I have no difficulty presenting the past as I know it, as I participated in it. As I said, I think when I came to the commission the first time, Mr. Hanman asked the question about whether I am prepared for this. I indicated to him that the only hurdle I have to cross is having a conversation with my wife and my children. And once they indicate that they are prepared to have me stand public scrutiny, what any other one says about what I'm doing matters not to me.
With reference to paragraph 22 of your written statement, Mr. Hamilton, what would you give us one of the contributing factors or the reason behind the behavior and the attitude of yourself and the House of Israel between the period 1978-98?
I said in my statement, without seeking to excuse the behavior and attitude of myself and the leadership and members of the House of Israel, I would want to say that Rabbi Washington and the House of Israel were victims of a specific time. Because the time was framed in the mantra of either you are with me or against me. And the House of Israel chose to be with Burnham and the PNC government of the day. I suspect because of two reasons. Firstly, Rabbi Washington, being a fugitive from the U.S., refusing to accede to Burnham's and the PNC requests, would have found himself on the first plane out of Guyana. And secondly, we bought the argument that Walter Rodney and the WPA were tools of the Indian-dominated PUP party, who was seeking power from the African-dominated political party peace.
Mr. Hamilton, do you or did you have any sort of relationship between the PNC party? Between the periods, first of all, 1970 and 1980. We'll start with that period first.
The relationship with PNC at that time would have been via Council 1970.
Did you have any relation with the party, the PNC, after the year 1980?
Yes, ma'am.
Any time after? And could you say when?
1997 up to 2007. During that period, I served twice as a member of parliament of the PNC. And secondly, I served several years as an executive member of the PNC.
One moment.
Are you serving any party now? Political party?
Yes, I'm a member of parliament of the ruling party, president of the PPC.
Is that right?
2012, January.
Mr. Hamilton, there are just two more issues I wish to deal with. We spoke about the financing of the House of Israel. I want to know at this point in time whether the House of Israel, between the period 1970 and 1980, received any external financing from outside of Guyana. Guyana, internationally.
There were relationships with Rabbi Washington and what they call in the United States, Black Jews as they call it, who resided at the time in Israel. There was a period when about a dozen or thereabout of them paid a visit to Guyana, and they were put up by the House of Israel. And so, as far as I know, that would have been the only external relationship where you would have had support, financial or otherwise, coming from any group out there.
Mr. Hamilton, you indicated a little earlier in evidence today that there were two bombs that were planted and exploded at the at the House of Israel headquarters. Could you state what year and perhaps what month that incident occurred?
I think it will have to be 79 because I was living in the Rodney at that time. And it would be, I think, after the death of Rodney.
Were there any arrests made by the police in relation to who would have planted those two bombs?
No, not at all. Not as far as I know.
But there was a police investigation into the
Yes,
planting of
yes,
those
there was
bombs.
a police investigation.
Do you have any knowledge in relation to who the police investigation may have pointed to in relation to the perpetrators?
No, I don't know who the police is. At the level of the hospital, we had different theories as to who would have planted the bombs.
And then according to the theories of the leadership of the House of Israel, who would they have blamed or put the blame at in relation to the planting of those bombs?
There were two theories covered in the discussion. One is that because the way how we dealt with the WP, they might have been responsible. Secondly, there was a theory in our conversation that perhaps the government today had had enough use of the PNC. Use of the House of Israel. The PNC government had enough use of the House of Israel. And what was attempted was to make it a personal matter between House of Israel and WPA. And for the House of Israel to react a certain way. And giving the government of the day the opportunity, because they say in local parlance, to mash up both organizations at the same time. So those were the two theories that we in our discussions, we looked at.
Mr. Hamilton, did any of these theories, and in particular the one where the blame laid at the feet of the WPA, influence any decisions made by the leadership of the House of Israel in relation to how they would have interacted in the future with the WPA?
This is right. I think I mentioned in my statement, I think it was just after then, as I mentioned, Army Officer McAllister started to show up. And as I mentioned, these interventions with House of Israel, specific persons showing bomb making techniques. So I suspect the House of Israel decision was at the time that if people will come plant bombs at their headquarters, then we have to be prepared also to do the same. And therefore that intervention occurred after that. So that was the thought coming out of the 2 months. Please.
In the event that the second theory was applied, where it would have been a direct reaction, or coming from the PNC who had had enough uses of the House of Israel, as he put it, what, if any, changes would have been made by the House of Israel in relation to their interactions with the PNC after the war?
I would say that after Bilal was charged, I would say that the PNC started, the House of Israel started to discuss a rethinking of its relationship with the PNC, because earlier in the day, I indicated to you that the House of Israel membership and leadership felt safe enough that no one could have or would have been prosecuted for whatever acts or actions that they were involved in. And therefore, when a brother was sentenced, was charged for murder, was sentenced, so yeah, discussions about the relationship with the PNC.
What year again was that? Bilal? Satu?
Yes.
What year was that? You said it.
79. second half, after July.
But since I have a here, may I ask you, after Dr. Rodney died on the 13th of June 1980, did the relationship between the Bonds of Israel and the ruling party continue in the same way, or?
Yes, it continued, but not in the same way. It wasn't.
Was there a pulling off? Could you describe
It wasn't so much. It wasn't so much a political relationship anymore, because the political actor that was the threat was out of the way. So it was a continued relationship of trying to utilize the relationship to develop the House of Israel economically enough.
But before Reverend Yap death, did the House of Israel and its members feel that they could break the law with impunity, with no prosecution, no intervention with the law, even to the point of killing people?
I would want to finish this.
You can do so. Thank you.
Mr. Hamilton.
So that the rule of law as we know it is equality before the law, every man is got to behave himself, regardless. All of that had collapsed in the man of that period.
I said earlier, sir, Mr. Chairman, that it is only people who live the time who understand.
So what? It was a period of tyranny, dictatorship, or what?
It was a period of everything that was not good for a country. Some of it.
It was a dark period in this country.
You said everything that was on good law.
That was not good for a country and its development.
All for what purpose? To maintain what? The dictatorship? What was this purpose? Behind the overturning of civilized norms and so on. What was the purpose?
The purpose, in retrospect, I would want to do was the party in power, as articulated by other witnesses, breach and prosecuted the case of party paramountcy and everything that spun within the confines of Guyana was at the behest of the party. So it was everything that was done on the methodology was to ensure that people were kept in their